Alex Eala suffers singles disappointment at Abu Dhabi Open but marches on in doubles with Janice Tjen. It was a magical run while it lasted in the singles draw, but Alex Eala can still continue to bring plenty of delight to Filipino fans in the Mubadala Abu Dhabi Open, alongside fellow Southeast Asian sensation Janice Tjen. Just an hour after her solo campaign came to an end with a 6-3, 6-3 loss to second seed Ekaterina Alexandrova, Eala switched gears to team up with Indonesian rising star Tjen, with the duo proceedings to deliver a statement performance in the doubles quarterfinals. The pair, who have been dubbed, and have happily accepted, their Sisters moniker in reference to the shared region of origin, dominated second seeds Zhang Shuai and Christina Buxa, cruising to a 6-3, 6-3 win to punch their ticket into the semifinals of a WTA 500 event for the first time in their careers. It is worth noting that Zhang is a three-time Grand Slam champion, and as recently as at last month's Australian Open, while Buxa was a bronze medalist at the 2024 Olympic Games, albeit both with different partners. There was also an element of revenge for Eala, as it was Buxa who ended her hopes in the second round of last year's US Open, after the former had become the first player from the Philippines to win a singles match in the main draw of a Grand Slam. Quick starts proved decisive in both sets, as Eala and Tjen struck early with consecutive breaks to surge ahead 3-0 on each occasion. That early cushion allowed them to dictate play, blending sharp net coverage with steady baseline exchanges to keep their more experienced opponents at bay. While Zhang and Buxa attempted to claw their way back, the Southeast Asian duo consistently shut the door, holding firm in key moments to close out each set without drama. The win not only highlighted Eala's growing comfort at this level but also underscored the chemistry she shares with Tjen, as the pair showed poise well beyond their years. Advancing to the Final Four marks a breakthrough result for both players and another meaningful step forward for Southeast Asian representation on the WTA stage. Next up for the pairing is a semi-final clash against fourth seeds Tereza Mihalikova and Olivia Nichols. Earlier, a day after a stunning victory in the round of 16 against Alexandra Sasnovich, Eala suffered defeat against world number 11 Alexandrova in the singles quarterfinals. Alexandrova set the tone early, breaking serve in the opening set to take control and eventually build a 5-2 cushion. Eala showed grit by holding serve and extending the set, but the Russian closed it out at 6-3 with little room for error. Eala opened the second set with her first lead of the match, holding serve to go up 1-0, but Alexandrova quickly responded with an early break to regain momentum. The Filipino managed to stay within striking distance, including a key hold and a brief deadlock at 3-all after earning a break opportunity. However, Alexandrova raised her level when it mattered most, breaking back and sealing the match with authority to advance, denying Eala a comeback despite her late resistance. ATP chairman Andrea Gaudenzi re-elected to third term. London, Andrea Gaudenzi was re-elected as chairman of the ATP Men's Professional Tennis Tour on Thursday, giving him a third term that runs through 2028. Gaudenzi, a former player, first took over the tour in January 2020. The ATP said total annual player compensation for tour-level events has climbed by $100 million during his tenure to roughly $270 million in 2025, and to $400 million when Grand Slam tournaments are included. When I reflect on what we've achieved, I see a sport with stronger foundations than ever, underpinned by record growth that speaks to tennis's potential, Gaudenzi said in a statement. Now is the time to keep pushing. Key changes during his time in charge have included adding profit sharing at ATP Masters 1000 events and the introduction of 12-day Masters tournaments. Saudi Arabia will host a new ATP Masters tournament that is expected to debut in 2028 and is the first addition to the Men's Tennis Tour's premium series since its founding in 1990. That move to add a 10th Masters event comes as players renew calls to reconsider a long and crowded schedule for the sport. One was tuned for the lonely grind of singles, the silence between points, the internal dialogue that grows louder with every missed forehand. The other belonged to doubles, a space filled with chatter, eye contact, quick laughs, and shared belief. Over the course of one compelling week at the Abu Dhabi Open, both sides of her tennis identity were tested. One faltered. The other flourished. The sting of singles. Singles tennis can be cruel in its clarity. There is no hiding place, no teammate to lean on when momentum slips away. For Eala, the Abu Dhabi Open singles draw promised opportunity, but it also demanded sharpness from the very first ball. The margins were thin, the pace relentless, and the lessons immediate. Her singles campaign ended earlier than she had hoped, the disappointment written plainly in her body language as the final point slipped past her. It wasn't a collapse or a meltdown. Those belonged to a different kind of loss. This was subtler, heavier. The kind where you know you were close, where you glimpse the level you want to reach but can't quite stay there long enough. There were moments when Eala's signature lefty forehand sang, carving angles that reminded everyone why her name continues to rise in conversations about the future of women's tennis. But consistency, the quiet currency of singles success, proved elusive. A few loose service games, a handful of rushed decisions, and suddenly the scoreboard felt like it was moving faster than the match itself. For a player still navigating the transition from promise to permanence on the WTA stage, such defeats cut deep. They also educate. Singles losses have a way of lingering, replaying themselves long after the crowd has left, asking difficult questions about patience, shot selection, and emotional control. Eala did what she has learned to do best in those moments. She absorbed it. She packed away the disappointment, acknowledged it without dramatizing it, and turned her attention to the other racket in her bag. A different energy in doubles. If singles is solitude, doubles is conversation. And when Alex Eala walked back onto the Abu Dhabi courts alongside Janice Tjen, the mood shifted immediately. There was laughter in the warm-up. There were quick glances after missed volleys that said, next point. The weight that singles had placed squarely on Eala's shoulders now felt distributed, shared, lighter. Eala and Tjen have developed a partnership built not just on complementary skills, but on mutual trust. In Abu Dhabi, that trust became their most dangerous weapon. From the opening games, the duo played with freedom. Eala's left-handed spin opened up angles on the ad side, while Tjen's timing at the net disrupted rhythm and applied constant pressure. Their communication was crisp, short cues, instinctive movement, an understanding of when to attack and when to reset. What stood out most wasn't just their execution, but their resilience. Doubles matches often swing wildly, momentum flipping in a matter of minutes. In Abu Dhabi, whenever a set threatened to drift away, Eala and Tjen pulled it back together with composure that belied their age. They broke serve with daring returns. They held serve with calm efficiency. And crucially, they enjoyed themselves. Redemption without erasure.